Here's the secret that changed everything. It started as an accident. A busy week, a few skipped watering sessions, and before I knew it, 7 days had passed. I expected to find wilted leaves and lifeless soil, but instead, my garden looked surprisingly healthy. Some plants even seemed stronger. That unexpected result sent me down a rabbit hole to discover what was really happening in the soil, and how not watering can sometimes make your plants thrive, not suffer. If you've ever felt chained to your watering can, worried your plants might dry out the moment you step away, this story will change how you see irrigation forever. What I learned in those 7 days reshaped the way I grow everything, from tomatoes to leafy greens, and helped me cut water use by almost half while boosting growth naturally. Here's the truth. Most of us love our plants too much. We water them on schedule, not based on need. The soil barely dries out before we flood it again, suffocating the roots beneath a blanket of moisture. What looks like healthy care often becomes slow drowning. When soil stays constantly wet, air pockets collapse, roots lose oxygen, and beneficial microbes go dormant. Instead of growing deep and strong, roots stay shallow, making plants dependent on constant watering. The cycle continues until your garden can't go a single day without it. When I stopped watering for a week, I accidentally broke that cycle. The soil had a chance to breathe again. Oxygen returned, microbial life woke up, and roots started stretching deeper in search of moisture. By the end of the week, I realized this wasn't plant neglect. It was soil rehabilitation. Going water-free doesn't mean abandoning your plants. It's about creating a system that retains moisture naturally. Here's what I did during that week that made all the difference. I focused on moisture conservation rather than direct watering. I started by loosening the top layer of soil to allow air to enter and reduce compaction. Then I added a thick layer, about 2 inches, of organic mulch made from dried leaves, grass clippings, and shredded bark. Mulch acts like a blanket, keeping the soil cool and preventing water from evaporating. Underneath, something magical was happening. The mulch began to slowly decompose, feeding beneficial fungi and bacteria that create humus, a dark, rich material that can hold up to 20 times its weight in water. That meant, even when I didn't water, the soil stayed damp deeper down, giving roots a constant slow-release moisture source. By midweek, I wanted to give the soil a gentle boost without breaking the no-watering rule. Instead of plain water, I made a microbe-rich fermented plant tonic, a living liquid that feeds the soil, not just the plants. Alright, here's the exact mix that worked wonders for me. You'll need 1 liter of clean water, 2 tablespoons of molasses or brown sugar, and 1 cup of fermented plant juice or compost tea. You can make that by soaking fresh green leaves or vegetable scraps in water for about 5 to 7 days. Then, add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar or whey as a microbial starter. Now, just mix everything thoroughly and let it sit covered, but not sealed, for about 24 hours. This gives the microbes time to activate. When it's ready, go ahead and dilute 100 milliliters of this mixture in 1 liter of water. Apply it lightly around the base of each plant, just enough to moisten the soil surface, not soak it. This approach feeds the microbes that support your plant's roots, helping them access water and nutrients more efficiently. I like to call it feeding the soil, not the plant. What amazed me most during that week was watching how my plants adapted. On day 3, I noticed some leaves drooped slightly. That's a normal sign of stress, but by day 5, they had perked up again. And honestly, what was happening underground was even more impressive. When the top layer of soil dries out, roots instinctively grow downward to chase deeper moisture. That process, really builds resilience. It's nature's way of training your plants to survive dry spells. Instead of pampered, shallow-rooted plants, you get tough, deep-rooted ones capable of handling inconsistent weather, especially valuable for gardeners facing erratic rainfall or limited water supply. By the end of the week, I noticed thicker stems, firmer leaves, and richer soil texture. The top layer had transformed from crusty and compacted to soft and crumbly, filled with tiny life forms I hadn't seen before. The unmistakable sign of a healthy soil food web in action. Every drop of water you give your plants should support a living soil ecosystem. That ecosystem, made up of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and tiny decomposers, acts as the true irrigation system of your garden. These organisms build structures that trap and store water like tiny sponges, releasing it slowly as roots need it. But constant watering can flush them out, drown them, or disrupt their natural balance. By pausing for a week, I unknowingly gave these life forms the perfect environment to thrive again. The result was self-sustaining soil. After that week, I found I could go 2 to 3 days between waterings without any plant stress. The soil's water-holding capacity had improved dramatically. After that discovery, I changed how I manage moisture entirely. Instead of watering by habit, I now use a soil-first strategy. I check moisture levels by inserting my finger 2 inches deep into the soil. If it feels dry at that depth, that's when I water, not before. I always water early in the morning to minimize evaporation, and I aim for a slow soak that encourages deep root growth. I also reapply mulch every month and refresh it with small amounts of compost tea to keep microbial activity high. This method has reduced my water usage by nearly 40%, all while producing healthier, more flavorful vegetables. That unplanned experiment taught me something vital. Water is not the key to growth. Balance is. Plants don't need constant care. They need the right conditions to care for themselves. And when you stop overwatering, you're not depriving them. You're empowering them to become stronger. If you've ever struggled with yellow leaves, root rot, or stunted growth, just take a step back for a moment. Sometimes, honestly, the best way to help your plants is to give them space to adapt, improve your soil health, feed the microbes, mulch generously, and, water only when necessary. Your plants will reward you with resilience, and your garden will start to feel alive in a way it never has before. When I stopped watering my plants for a week, I didn't lose a garden. I discovered one. That pause really revealed that the real secret to thriving crops isn't more water, but smarter soil management. By building living, moisture-retentive soil and training plants to dig deeper, you can grow stronger, more productive crops while using less water than ever before. So, next time you reach for the watering can, ask yourself, does my soil really need it? If you've built a living ecosystem beneath your plants, chances are it's already taking care of the job for you. If you found this guide helpful and you're ready to transform your garden into a thriving, water-wise ecosystem, make sure to subscribe to Growth Hub Central Crops on YouTube. And don't forget to share this video with other gardeners who want to grow smarter, not harder, and join us as we keep uncovering the natural secrets that make every garden thrive.